So, when I was at work just yesterday, because as I've said before on this channel, I work in a clinic for kids who are on the spectrum, and some of them are younger. This one is younger. So, we have to sort of observe them as they take their potty break. And when this kid, took his potty break, he obviously pulled his pants down, and I saw that he, how do I even put this? He had the marks of a completely unnecessary procedure that has been known to actually cause autism in kids because it's such a traumatic thing for them, for their young minds to go through. So, seeing that was pretty disturbing, and it also caused me to realize that this is just something that is everywhere I go in this country. I'm affected by this disgusting institution. And then, on my drive home, I was kind of realizing, like, this is really, like, horrible. I want to talk to someone about this. I want to be able to vent my feelings. 'Cause this was, like, honestly, it was somewhat traumatic to even witness. It's really weird seeing a young lad like that. And I realized there's nobody I can talk to about this. Because every single person who I talk to in this country thinks that this thing, which, in a very real way, is clearly completely changed this boy's life to the degree that he even needs to go to this clinic, they think this thing is completely normal. To butcher young boys like that. Of course, only boys. It's completely abnormal and terrible and illegal even to do to girls, but boys, fair game, open season. So I did some thinking, and I realized eventually, I don't know how, I don't know when, but I'm gonna leave this country. And the more I thought about it, the more sense it seemed to make to me. I don't see this country getting any better with the constant wars we're getting shoved into, and then all the devastating effects that has on our economies. And just even right now, and like the only option is to improve the situation or to try to leave it. I thought about improving it for a while. Improving it was kind of my MO, but it's going to take so long that I don't even know if we'll get to see the benefits of that myself. Most people in the world, if their country's fucked up, they just leave it. But then again, that for me brings up the issue of, how I'm going to fund that, how I'm going to do it, where I'm going to go. All those real tangible questions that need to be answered. And I'll be honest, I have no idea where to even start with that. I have no idea where to even start. But now that I kind of have this sort of mindset, I know kind of where I want to set my sights. Not where I want to go, but not yet. I have a few ideas, but if anyone has any suggestions about this, definitely comment them or reach out to me or somehow. I would love to hear them. But yeah, I need to go to a place where this sort of thing's not normal, where it's seen as weird as it should be, because it is. It's really gross. Like, I could never start a family here because I just don't trust any of the people here to not do that to their kids, which would be my kids in that case. And I don't know, I'd always kind of want to see the world. You know, I still don't know how I'm going to do that, but now I kind of have this idea of, okay, now I at least can. I can try. So now that there's actually a reason for me to sort of post, there's a kind of motive behind it. There's all a big overarching goal rather than just get my thoughts out. It's kind of get my thoughts out on this specific topic, on this specific goal of mine, this line of thinking. Maybe I'll be posting more. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, I thought I'd have more thoughts about this, but it's actually a pretty simple thing in my head. It's like this country practice, this thing, this disgusting thing, this disgusting cultural, can't even talk, cultural institution, a ritual butchering is really is what it is with children. It's a horrible thing to do. And I think it's completely normal. So that makes me feel very, very out of place. Like when I was talking to one of my family members about how this is kind of like one of my plans, it's something I want to do now. It's like, oh yeah, well, I mean, you might feel pretty lonely for the first couple of years. I mean, let's actually rewind this conversation a little bit. I said, like, he said, I'm aging off my parents' health insurance in less than a year or so. And he's like, oh, you need to get a job with benefits now so you can cover you, so you don't lose access to health care. And I was just like, well, if I can move to a place with single payer health care, or something like that, then I wouldn't necessarily need to get that job. And then that's when he was like, oh, well, that would work, but then you might feel pretty lonely for the first couple years. And I was like, well, I feel lonely now. I feel lonely here. And like feeling lonely isn't necessarily just about being alone. There is that, but it's like if you feel like this, everyone you're around, the entire society you live in, everyone you talk to, everyone you meet on the street, everyone you work with or for, go to school with, go shopping with, etc., etc. I feel like all those people are completely okay with, like, sexually butchering you, sexually torturing you, dismembering you, assaulting you, and just okay to doing that to infant boys. That makes you feel pretty fucking lonely. Makes you feel pretty isolated, because if you don't feel that way, which I obviously don't, just judging from the way I'm talking, I'm sure you can tell. So I guess this is my woo-woo manifesting video. The first step in what I'm sure will be a long and arduous journey, but I've got to get the fuck out of here. So, if you have any tips or suggestions about that, definitely let me know. Any leads, definitely let me know. I'll try and be posting updates about this if I hear any, or if anything happens, or even just if my opinion or plans or situation changes, you'll hear about it. So until next time, Thought Maxer out.